He is a god of the game.
Pusarla Venkata Sindhu, the GOAT of Indian Olympics. Is hockey India's national sport? A question that lost all its relevance after spectacular quarter-final displays from both our men's and women's teams. Is Botas the fall guy for Hamilton? Football season has finally begun and seems like Rangers have already won the Scottish Premier League. Also, we talk about Pochettino's early troubles with PSG and Arsenal's new transfer. Let's go! Welcome everyone to episode 20 of Sports Charcha. Yes, we have completed a score. And like the previous 19 episodes, please help me welcome Ishan.
Hi guys, welcome to our 20th, number 20.
Great. This episode we are definitely happier as Olympics have given us a lot of great moments to talk about, to relish. We as a country, India won a bronze and we have one more medal confirmed, but that's still not the big news. The big news is our women's hockey team produced the upset of the tournament by defeating the mighty Aussies in the quarterfinals. Sorry Sindhu, sorry Lovelina. Ishan, we have to start here.
Yes, we do. What amazing performance. I'm so proud of those girls. Who would have thought? 99 times out of 100 you would bet on the Aussies thrashing us, not just beating us, but that's what's great about the Olympic Games. Upsets happen all the time.
That was wonderful. It was a 1-0 win. There was some heroic defending. I couldn't watch the game completely, but I got up all the highlights and it was incredible to watch us playing against one of the favorites. Aussies weren't the Aussies as they used to be, but for Indian women's hockey, Aussies are still a great challenge, and we were able to overcome them. We are through to the semis. See, still not a medal confirmed, but it feels so great because India is finally doing good in hockey. It's not just women's hockey, but also men's hockey.
Yes.
Even the men's team, they have qualified for semi-finals after beating Great Britain. And this they did after 49 years. The last time India were in a hockey semi-finals was back in 1972. There's a small technicality here, like India did win the gold in 1980, but in 1980 there were no semi-finals concept. So there was a league table, top two played the finals. So technically, after 49 years, we qualified for semi-finals, and 2 in 2 days.
Yeah.
Saturday we had the men's team qualifying, and today we had the women's team. It's amazing. It's great.
I think it's going to be tougher for the men's team to get a medal, although they are in the semi-finals, because the next game is against the world champions Belgium.
Yeah.
But you never know. Again, like the way we played against Great Britain, they were on paper a stronger side, but we played a great game, very solid in our movements, very solid in our attack, and we converted the chances we were given. So it was thoroughly well deserved.
Yeah. So the other semi-finals in men is between Australia and Germany, and Indian women are playing Argentina women, who I think they won the London Olympics. If I'm not wrong, they were the London Olympics champions. And the other semi-finals is between Great Britain and I don't remember the other team actually. I'll have to check. But the point is, Great Britain.
If you guys have watched Chak De India, you know how Argentina, the women's team, play. They will beat the crap out of us, but in the end we'll win.
Well, Argentina, women's hockey, men's football, they all play the same way. They just beat the crap out of the opposition. But see, that's the whole point. These are not even medals. These are just semi-finals place, booking a semi-finals place, which is still a great moment. But in reality, we actually won a bronze. Sindhu, second medal in 2 Olympics, a bronze. She unfortunately lost the semi-finals against, wasn't she the world number 1, the one whom she lost to? She was, I think, world number 1 if I'm not wrong.
I don't know about world number 1, but yeah.
And anyway, she played the bronze game and won bronze straight sets. And another women boxer, Lovelina, she qualified for semis, which means it's a confirmed medal, because in boxing there is no third place match. So if you enter a semis, even if you lose, you're confirmed of a bronze medal. So 3 medals confirmed. We already have a silver and a bronze in the locker. So hopefully the third one is gold, and the game is on Wednesday morning. So we are recording this on Monday night. Wednesday morning, 4th August, I think about 10, 11 a.m. the game starts. So keep an eye on it, watch it, support us. Hopefully we get one more medal. Great. So
Yeah.
let's put all this aside. Yes, we covered all the Indian stuff, the positive Indian stuff and everything aside. But Olympics, we saw some amazing moments, some great display of sportsmanship, some great scenes on the field, and you know what I'm talking about, which is that the men's high jump, that final announcement that happened.
Unbelievable.
I just gave me goosebumps. Man.
Unbelievable. So it was basically it was the long jump, right?
High jump.
Yeah, high jump. So it was basically the Italian, I forget the name, but the Italian and the Qatari
Yeah.
players were tied. They had the same height, and the normal rule is that they have to go in for a one-off, almost like a tiebreaker. Whoever gets the highest bar gets gold medal. But for the first time ever, you actually saw the footage where the Qatari player is talking to the IOC official and saying, is there a possibility if the medal can be shared? Because both of them, and there's a backstory attached to that, both of them were great friends.
Yeah.
In fact, when the Italian last year after the World Championship had a career-threatening ACL injury, it was this Qatari player, athlete that supported him, reached out to him, etc. And God bless the IOC in this regard. They said,
Yeah.
go for it. Let's share the gold medal. And it was one of the most, heartwarming moments. These are two very different countries
Yeah.
in history, in anything. And to see them hug it out, the Italian athlete jumped on the Qatari athlete, and it was just a moment where both of them shared probably their life's best moment together. And when the medal ceremony happening, both of them standing on the the number one spot, raising each other's hand. It was like, that's what the Olympic is for. That's what makes sport such a unifying event, because it doesn't matter where you're from, etc. It's just that moment at that day. It was truly a great sight.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Very well said. So the Qatari player's name is, I noted them down actually, I didn't know that. The Qatari player's name is Mutaz Essa Barshi, and the Italian player's name is Gianmarco Tamberi. I guess I pronounced it rightly. If not, apologies for that. But yeah, again, everything, as Ishan said, great display. It was wonderful to watch. The 100 meters men's finals, for the first time, there were no Jamaicans since I think 2000 Sydney Olympics, if I'm not wrong. And in women's 100 meters finals, all three gold, silver, and bronze were backed by the Jamaicans. So it's like balanced out, anyways. So this, as I said, the track and field even starts, the real fun starts. So it was great to see those athletes in action.
but Bala, just to conclude the athletic side of it, what a year it has been for Italy.
Yeah.
Euros champions, Berrettini becoming a Wimbledon finalist out of nowhere, an Italian winning a 100-meter sprint, breaking the European record while doing so, and obviously the long jump medal, gold medal as well. So what a brilliant year it's been for Italy. And after obviously the tragedy of how Italy was affected due to COVID, this is just incredible story for them.
Yeah, but not so great for Serbia, especially for Novak Djokovic, who had an eye on the Golden Slam, but unfortunately he didn't even win a medal. He lost the semi-finals to the eventual gold medalist Zverev, and he lost the semi-finals against a Spanish player. I forgot his name. Djokovic was doing Djokovic things, losing completely. He broke a couple of his rackets. He threw them off. I don't know. He just lost it. A great chance to win a Golden Slam, but the record still stays with Steffi Graf. And apparently she did it in 1988. I was wrong. I said 1996. She did it in 1988 when she was, I think, 19 or 20. Like, to achieve that when she was a teenager, that's insane, man. That's insane.
But I think just to roll back on Djokovic, I'm not a big Djokovic fan. He's a great player, will become probably the greatest ever. But, there are certain mannerisms that he has. He will never compare to Federer and Nadal in that regard. Losing your temper. He was fine in the loss with Zverev, But in the bronze medal match, he completely lost the plot.
Yeah.
Like he threw the racket into the crowd, broke the racket, as you said, a couple of times. I mean, that's uncalled for, especially when you're, talking about Olympics and, they are such great moments. On the other hand, and you see, a true champion like Djokovic behave like that. It was sad to see.
Yeah, not a very great sight for young sports fan to watch. I mean, you can call him a true great of the sport. So, yeah, his on-field behavior he might have to watch out for. Now, talking quickly, rounding up the other Indian performance, one of our equestrian player, I think his name is Mirza, Fawad Mirza, if I'm not wrong, finished in the finals, I think 23rd position, which is still which is still a best for us. The last time we competed in this sport was, I think, 20 years back in Sydney somewhere, I believe. Also, to round up other performances, long jump was a little disappointing. The disc throw finals women's event happened today. Kamalpreet Kaur finished, I think, 5th or 6th, I believe. So it was a little disappointing to see all those things. But these news, the last 3 days, Sindhu winning the bronze, Indian men's hockey team and women's hockey team reaching the semis, they were all great news. So hopefully we'll see more of this. And there's still about 5-6 days of Olympics still left. And we are still in line for at least 2 or 3 more medals. We still have a great hope in wrestling. There is still the javelin thrower. So fingers crossed for India and fingers crossed for more such heartwarming Olympic moments. Great.
Yes.
So, enough of Olympics. Let's move on to.
No, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Bala, sorry. Just before we end Olympics, a big upset just took place where the Canadian women's team knocked out the American women's team. That's a huge shocker because obviously, as you guys know, the American women's team is almost invincible. They beat them 1-0. So guaranteed not a gold medal for the US women's team this time. So that's a pretty big shocker for them.
Yeah.
And also for you football fans, this week, Tuesday and Wednesday will be the semi-finals for the men's team, men's football as well.
So so women's finals, as Ishan pointed out, Canada is one of the finalists, and Sweden defeated Australia in another semi-finals. So it's going to be Sweden versus Canada in the finals for the women's gold medal match. And in men's, we have the semi-finals tomorrow. That is Spain versus Japan is the first semi-finals, and Brazil versus Mexico is the second semi-final. So we'll see. Spain is the obvious favorites, but we'll see what happens there. So I think we have covered Olympics completely. So let's move on to the Formula One, the Hungarian Grand Prix. We had an eventful race, an unlikely winner.
Bullshit, bloody. So I've discovered that Mercedes has a tactic. They have a tactic that Botas's role, because he's out of contract anyway, is going to be just ram into all your competing cars, so that Hamilton can just win the race easily. And if you're really talented, try and maneuver and knock Verstappen while you're crashing every car while not making it look deliberate. Bottas did that really well in the first lap as the race started. By the way, for people who don't know, this was the Hungarian Grand Prix. It was anyway, the track was a bit slippery, etc. But during the start, Bottas got off to, he went far too much into the left corner, and his brake, he put the brakes on very late. He crashed into Lando Norris, and then it was because it's the start, everyone's close to each other. It was almost like a trickle down. Lando crashed against Leclerc banged against Sergio Perez. Perez nudged Verstappen. Verstappen had a minor damage, but all of these guys, Bottas, Leclerc, Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, they couldn't race anymore. There was so much drama, but I think the highlight of the race was in the last 10 laps where Hamilton was making a surge towards the podium, and our age-old legend MVP Fernando Alonso brought back, his heydays and defended Hamilton in a Mercedes, which is a superior car, in his Renault for about 4 laps in one of them. Like, Bala, if you've not seen it, it is one of the most incredible, moments of driving. The skill involved in defending a faster car or a superior car is just impeccable, incredible. But obviously, Hamilton overtook, but all credit goes out to the winner, a first time winner, Sebastian Ocon, in the Renault, which is basically the Alpine. Second place went to Sebastian Vettel, and third place went to Lewis Hamilton, which is important for the Mercedes team, because now Hamilton is 2 points ahead of Verstappen in the title championship. But yesterday, Vettel was eliminated, disqualified from the race. There's a certain rule where you have to have a specific amount of fuel sample that you need to submit post race. The Racing Point team could not do that, and apparently it's in the rule book that that's an immediate disqualification. And as a result, Vettel was disqualified, which meant Hamilton took second place, which now means he's 4 points ahead, and Sainz, who was in the Ferrari, comes third. So that disqualification might have a massive effect on the championship race. Verstappen has not looked the same ever since Hamilton knocked him off in the last race. I think it was a psychological damage that Hamilton wanted to do. Obviously not, I won't say he did it deliberately, but it worked.
Yeah.
But so dramatic, great race. Congratulations to Ocon in his first race. He might never do it again.
Great, wonderful. I mean, it's like full drama. And when you said Vettel lost his second place due to such technicalities, it reminded me of the Rush movie when James Hunt Victory gets disqualified because his car was like some 10 inches away from the rules. Yeah, I mean, it was great. It's great. And Hamilton is right now at 192 points. Verstappen is second at 186 points. Third, fourth are like way behind. I mean, Lando Norris is 113, like nowhere near these two. So it'll be these two still on top, and it'll be a tight race. On the constructors' side, Mercedes is at 300 and Red Bull is at 290. So again, it's between those two. So what, we still have another 10 races left. I don't know how many more races left. So
another 10 odd races left. Yeah,
10 odd races left. So again, this is going down the wire. So watch out for the next race, guys. So that's about it for F1. Now we have a lot of football happening, so we'll cover everything in the next section, which is our speed point. So to start with speed point, the first thing is the official season in the French league has started. So they started off like any other league. They start off with their quote-unquote Super Cup or quote-unquote Community Shield, and they call it the Champions Trophy. And it was between Lille, who were the last year Ligue 1 champions, versus PSG, who were the last year Cup champions. And Lille won, 1-0. PSG, not a great start for Poch. Early troubles,
but yeah, meaning I know they won't put too much weightage on that match. It's a one-off, but yeah, meaning it's not a very auspicious start for PSG, which, because they've literally broken the bank to win the Champions League this season. They're going to go all out because most likely they'll lose Mbappe next season. So it's not a very good start, but it's one of those irrelevant trophies. I don't think they won't put too much importance into it. But yeah, congratulations to.
So one thing what struck me was, like, say, I understand like PSG didn't play with pretty much 8 or 9 of their starting 11. Like, just to name it, there were no Marquinhos, Verratti, Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, like no one. Like if Ramos didn't start, so pretty much 8 or 9 of their starting 11 didn't start. But still, like, you still have players like Hakimi started. He played his first probably official game, we can call it, for PSG, and Wijnaldum came in as a substitute. But even on the Lille side, they also lost many of their star players. Their star goalkeeper left. One of their star midfielders, Boubacar Somare, he went to Leicester. Renato Sanchez is still not back yet, so they are also without their star players, but they were able to win. Now, see, I agree to everything you said. It's just a one-off game. It's a glorified friendly, blah blah blah. But still, with the kind of signings you made, with the kind of summer you had when it comes to transfers, you expect to beat Lille. So hopefully PSG come back stronger and make a good case in Champions League. I'm pretty sure they're going to run through the French League one more time, but hopefully they make a good case in Champions League. Now, that's not the only league that started. And again, just to round it off, congratulations to Lille, yet another trophy. In fact, they also don't have their manager. I forgot him. Christophe Galtier is no more Lille's manager. He has gone to Lyon. So anyways, congratulations Lille. But that's not the only league that has started. Scottish Premier League has also started. we won't spend too much time on it, just because we don't have that many other leagues started, so we're talking about this. Rangers, the champions, won their first game 3-0, but Celtic had a horrible start. Like, they failed to qualify for the Champions League and lost their first game against Hearts, so they are not looking good. There's already a lot of pressure on their new manager, so we'll see how that goes. But did you see the European Super League statement released by the three clubs who are still in it?
Yeah, no, I missed that. What was the statement?
So basically, Juve, Barca, Real, who the three clubs who are still in this European Super League, they filed a case against UEFA for threatening with all those actions against them.
Sanctions, etc.
Yeah. So the court, it was a Madrid court. They fought in a Madrid court, and the Madrid court ruled in favor of favor of these clubs, stating that UEFA can't threaten these clubs with all those things. But UEFA literally said, "Meh, like, we don't give a fuck. Like, we are going to appeal someplace else, and you guys are still screwed." So see, this is what the statement officially released by all the three clubs together. So one couple of quotes I noted, like, it was very funny. So one thing they said, that UEFA has established itself as a sole regulator, exclusive operator, and unique owner of rights of European football competitions. This monopolistic position is conflict of interest, is damaging football and its competitive balance. As shown by ample evidence, financial controls are inadequate. Released by Barcelona. Like,
Oh
hey,
man,
hello,
they're
Kettle.
desperate.
Hello, Kettle, you're black.
Oh my God. Meaning, I feel sad for them, but they've dug their own graves, man.
Yeah, I mean, how ballsy for them to point fingers at UEFA and say that, hey, you didn't handle finance properly. Anyways, but this is not over yet. It looks like this is going to continue for a while. It's just a pure ego fight between these three clubs and the UEFA. Just to add a side note, I don't know how many of you know this. Juventus' current presidents, Andrea Agnelli, and UEFA's president, Seferin, they're actually pretty close friends. One is the other person's son's godfather.
Oh dear.
I don't know whose son's godfather, but they're that close. So it feels, back of the mind, it feels like a family fluid. There's some unspoken trouble between these two, and they're trying to sort it out outside their family. So
I hope that happens between Aguero and Messi this season.
oh, great. So yeah, so any other major footballing transfers that has happened? Jack Grealish interest have increased. Manchester City have officially.
Harry Kane didn't show up for training today.
Oh yeah.
Which basically has obviously raised speculation that he might be going to City, but Harry Kane did that last season as well and didn't go anywhere. I still feel that Harry Kane is not leaving. It will cost City a lot of money to let go, meaning to buy Harry Kane, especially if they're planning to buy Grealish as well. If I were City involved in the City transfer, I would actually go for Kane over Grealish, because midfield is one position where City are already very strong. But there are rumors that City are open to offers for Riyad Mahrez and Raheem Sterling as well. I don't know who will go out and buy them, because as we just said, there are three European heavyweights who are now European crybabies who don't have any money. And Bayern won't buy such players. So I don't see where they will fit in. But, anything can happen. City are capable of buying both, because, as you said, FFP is off the table this season, I think. So they will also take advantage, like how PSG did. But yeah, man, like, that's one of the major things going down in the transfer season. Ben White made his debut for Arsenal. For people who don't know, he was the third highest record signing for Arsenal at 58 million. Came from Brighton. He did pretty well. He did a goal line clearance against Chelsea. It was a friendly game. Arsenal but showed their true colors of being absolutely atrocious in defense. But however bad they were, Timo Werner still couldn't score a goal. He was horrible again. Havertz scored a great finish, and Tammy Abraham scored the other goal. So yeah, I think not much has happened in the transfer mill, especially in the Premiership, because where the action is. United have been very smart, finished most of their business very early, very unlike United. I think with Woodward going, I think a lot of transfers are happening very quickly, so that's great for them.
So yeah, pretty much all the major points are covered. The season is actually slowly starting. Champions League qualifications towards the last round of qualifications are happening. So that's happening this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and probably will happen after 2 weeks again. Many clubs are in it. Europa League and the Europa Conference League qualifications all are going on. The first official game of the English Premier League season begins next Saturday. The coming Saturday, 8th August. The Community Shield game between Leicester City and Manchester City. So that will be played at Wembley. So that earmarks the beginning of the Premier League season. So probably next episode is probably the last episode. Will cover a lot of non-football because the episodes post that we'll be back to talking about football. UEFA Super Cup is there, but that we'll talk about in the next episode.
And I think next week what I'm going to do is I'll just give 5 minutes to what happened in the NBA draft for people who are interested. I'll also talk about a couple of trades that might happen, might not happen. So yeah, we'll spend a couple of 10 minutes on the NBA next week as well.
Yes, I will prepare some questions. I have some questions. So that will be like a question and answer session so that like listeners can also understand. So great. I am totally looking forward to the next episode. So until then, it's bye-bye from Bala.
Bye guys. Bye from Ishan. See you next week.
Thank you everyone for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also please, like we are literally begging, to rate our podcast on whichever app you are listening to. It not only helps us, but also new listeners to easily find our podcast. You can also reach out to us on Twitter @SportsCharcha. A big shout out to the Jam Room Audio for our theme music. You can follow the Jam Room on Facebook @the Jam Room Audio. Bye.